Good day, viewers. I want to thank you for allowing us into your homes once again. And welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Infertility Openly. Today we'll be talking about a specialized aspect of our work, cryopreservation. And I have to do justice to that, Mr. Ademola Aladejare, a senior in biology with the Vine Brand Fertility Center. You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So, David, to keep the ball rolling, we're talking about cryopreservation today. What is cryopreservation?
Well, basically, cryopreservation is the use of low temperature to preserve eggs, embryos, and sperm.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Eggs, embryos. So, why will somebody need to have cryopreservation? Any particular reason?
Well, one, basically, those going through some treatments that can affect their sperm quality later in life.
Right.
Especially those going through maybe chemotherapy for whichever one, even if it's chemotherapy for leukemia, for testicles.
Okay. So what they're saying is that if someone has cancer and is taking drugs for the cancer, the cancer drugs can actually affect his fertility in future life. Yeah. So before he exposes himself to the cancer drugs, he shall at least keep his sperms. But what about women? What category of women will need to freeze their eggs?
Well, basically also those that are going to be exposed to treatments that will affect the quality of their eggs.
Okay.
And also those that are not really ready to settle down yet.
Okay.
You know, and this is, as we all know, well, it's a fact that the quality of age affects the quality of eggs. So that means a 24-year-old woman has a 24-year-old egg. So if a 24 or 25-year-old woman decides is not ready to settle down maybe to the next 5 or 7 years, it's a good thing for the person to freeze or to cryopreserve his eggs, so that by the time she will be ready, the eggs will still be at that age she froze them. Yes.
So what will it take someone if he wants to benefit from this? I mean, if a woman, for instance, she's 35 years old, she doesn't have a partner yet, what will it take for her to freeze her eggs?
Well, she comes to us and we stimulate her to produce more eggs.
Okay.
And then we freeze it for her and she pays us a token quarterly.
What about for men that wants to freeze their sperms?
Yeah, they come to us also, produce for us 2, 3, 4 times, and we cryopreserve it for them, and they pay us a token quarterly.
Okay, so what are the complications of cryopreservation? Can we talk about that?
Yeah. Well, one of it is contamination.
Okay.
Now it's assumed that the embryos, they breathe, and in so doing they can contaminate the others in the same jar with them.
Okay.
So to avoid this, one of the things we do is that we put every known, because of course we do screening before we start this treatment, so we put every known HIV patient in a jar, every known hepatitis B patient in a jar, so as to avoid contamination. The recovery rate of thawing is also a complication we experience.
Okay, so, well, in rounding up, Debbie, what is the technology, what is the rationale behind freezing?
Well, of course, when we say freezing or vitrification or cryopreservation, we are not talking about deep freezers here. We're not talking about refrigerators here.
So it's not freeze that we're using?
Oh, no, we are not.
Okay.
Well, what we use is a liquid nitrogen gas that has been liquid nitrogen, and it boils at minus 196 degrees centigrade. And now, this alone, the gas alone, can be used to freeze almost any biological thing. So anything that gets into that state at minus 196 degrees centigrade, no biochemical activity happens.
So if we suspend biochemical activity, we also suspend the composition.
Yes.
Exactly. So it's basically, Demi, it's been a pleasure having you on the program. I hope when we call you, be around with us again. It's my pleasure to have you. Anyway, viewers, I hope you've learned something on our program today. This is Let's Talk About Fertility Openly. Till we see you again, wishing you all the best.